What up, friends? Welcome to the show. Hey, I'm going to make some mac and cheese today, but it's going to be unlike any mac and cheese you probably ever had. So, I was first introduced to this mac and cheese by my step-grandmother, I guess. French, I believe. But the interesting thing about her was she did a lot of baking and cream puffs and pizzelles and all kinds of stuff. And just about every dish she cooked started with the same thing: 2 sticks of butter. So I'll call her old 2 sticks for God bless her soul. All right, so mac and cheese. What makes this mac and cheese different is I make it with Swiss cheese, and she made it with Swiss cheese. It's just a simple layering process with a little bit of butter and a little bit of milk. And over the years, my wife actually has made it and added a little cheddar to it, so I add a little cheddar to it too. But I guarantee you, it's easy, and I guarantee you if you eat it, it's the best mac and cheese you've ever had in your life. Crispy top, nice and cheesy, and it's just absolutely delicious. So let's get started. What's in it? What should you prepare for? All right, 1/2 cup of milk. And old 2 sticks, we're gonna reduce it in half to 1 stick of butter. 1 box of macaroni. Now I'm making this for serving of 4. So 1 box of macaroni, 3 8-ounce packages of sliced Swiss, and 1 package of fancy sharp cheddar, whatever you want. I may add a little more cheddar. I have some in the fridge if I feel like it. All right, so I am going to eat a little bit of this, but not much, because it's so habit forming, and tomorrow's the first of the year, and we all have our New Year's resolutions, and mine is obviously to get a little more exercise and lose some weight. So I'm taking this to Pharmacist Sean's house because I know Pharmacist Sean will eat it. Pharmacist Sean is the king of leftovers, and when this is finished, I may have a little bit, and then we'll go to Pharmacist Sean's. All right, so let's get started. First thing you're gonna do is cook your macaroni. Okay, 1 box, 16 ounces. And I recommend you cook it to the low end of whatever it says. El dente is what you want. If you don't know how to get to el dente, if it says 7 to 9 minutes, cook it about 6. If it says 9 to 11, cook it about 8. I got a pot of boiling water right here. We're gonna pull the top. Put our macaroni in there. We're gonna add a little pinch of salt. That's sea salt right there. All right, so this has been in here 8 minutes. The recommended time is 9 to 11. Just gonna pull a piece out. I like that. And since I'm in YouTube world and I got a few things to do, set up a camera, I'm gonna stop it at 8 minutes instead of 9, which is the low end of the 9 to 11 minutes. All right, you're gonna strain it just like you would strain anything else. Let the fog clear here. Now I'm going to I have a very, very hot water heater. It's under my sink, so it gets hot immediately. And I am going to just rinse this off real quick with some very hot water. Not too much. Because you don't want it to get too cool, because we're going to be putting this in butter. All right, shake it out. Then we're going to return it to the pan. Now's our first shot of butter. Put about 1/3 of a stick of butter in there and allow it to melt. The remainder of the butter you're going to put in your microwave or whatever and get it melted down. All right, let's get this party started. So we want to kind of move our butter around in our pan that we returned our noodles to, because you want to get that butter to melt. And when it's melted, we will start putting this together. So I'm going to put that on a little chunk left on the bottom there. All right, step 1. We got to butter this pan. I just happen to have a chunk of Kerrygold in the refrigerator, so I brought it out. We're going to do the best we can to get the inside of this tray nice and buttery. Put it in the old aluminum pan because since it's going with Pharmacist Sean, so I'm going to take my hand and I'm just going to kind of work it in a little bit so it don't get all sticky. Perfect. Now, it's good to use a ladle in this case. Take and ladle just enough to cover the bottom of the pan. Not too thick, just enough to get a nice cut. Just enough. You can still see some spots in the pan down there, but just enough. That's your layer. That's what your layers are going to look like. You're probably going to have 3 or 4 layers. So you got your macaroni down, which I just showed you. Now, 1 layer of cheese, Swiss, which fits perfect, by the way, in this pan. You can take and add any to the open spots if you want. Then, a little bit of cheddar, handful of cheddar. Now, take your butter, drizzle it, your butter that you melted. Take your milk. This will all mix by itself. You don't have to worry about mixing it, or my mom used to stir it halfway and when it was baking, I never really understood that, but anyways. Now we're going to go with layer 2. Looks like we're going to get about 3 layers out of this. Again, I can see cheese. That's a good thing about the orange cheese. You can see the orange cheese through. It's not a thick layer. You can put your milk and stuff on whenever you want because it's going to boil through. It's actually going to steam up is what it's going to do. You can either do this before or after. Going back with our Swiss again. Then with the cheddar. We already put our milk and our butter on this layer, so we're going to go back with our final layer of noodles. Don't be afraid to move it around with your hand. And then we're going to finish up with Swiss. On top. Fold and fill in this gap, fill in this gap. Fill in that gap, fill in that gap. Now we're going to finish with the cheddar. Actually, while I got holes in the cheese here, I think I'll add some more milk. Finish with the butter. Finish with the cheddar. This is where I go a little heavy on the cheddar if I have enough left, because it makes a nice, beautiful not charred, but a nice crispy top. Beautiful, beauteous. There it is. Now it's ready for the oven. Let me just get the camera. So in the end, we had 2 packs of Swiss cheese, 1 pack of cheddar shredded, and the other one, and luckily I saved a wrapper from the Swiss, and we'll be putting the Swiss back away. So now we're going to put this in the oven at 375, covered with a piece of aluminum foil. All right, it's been about 40 minutes. Going to take the top off the mac and cheese. Oh yeah, coming right along. Now we're going to let that sit in there. And the mac and cheese will tell you when it's done based on how crisp it gets on the top. All right, we're working on about 1 hour and 15 minutes. Everything looks really good. You can look in here and you can see that it starts crisping and browning all the way around. That's going to be one big crisp, beautiful chunk of mac and cheese right there. Mac and cheese, mac and Swiss cheese. You can do it. It's easy. Please like, subscribe, follow. Thanks a lot. Y'all take care.